Hello, hello. This year was interesting. And in general, I suppose it was like that for lots of you. On the other hand, wow, the whole year flew by. And on the other, it is always useful to take a look back and to realize how much actually happened and how fast. My name is Durasa. You can put this video on set in the background while playing a game or drawing, maybe make yourself some tea. By the way, in the speed paint you could have watched me suffer with my new iPad, but I broke the Apple Pencil, whoa! So I went back to my old dear tablet. The iPad part will come later too though, but first things first. My 2025 started with a trip actually. Before that I got my tongue pierced though. Best piercing decision ever. I went from Cherkasy to Uman, and there I stayed at my friend's place and we celebrated the new year with him and his family. Then we both went to Dnipro to visit our academic advisor. We studied in the same college back then. My body Artem then went back home and I went to Kyiv to my sister, nephew and an online friend who lives there. And also went back home to Cherkasy in a few days. It was a nice trip. I would gladly repeat it if not the amount of fucking money you have to spend on it and not the lack of moral strength to flock around the trains back and forth. There was also one funny story. My friend from Kyiv, who isn't my friend anymore but anyway, bought me a bouquet on the streets. Respect to a random woman seller for her impudence. After all, we all know that the impudence is the second happiness. But imagine me already going with the bouquet I bought for my sister earlier, and the woman who saw a couple in the same time started talking like, "Oh, you're such a sweetheart, buy my bouquet to a girl." Not to mention that it was a bit expensive for a not so fresh bouquet of 7 roses. But my body decided that the hell I need it, even if I went back home in a day there. As a result, this bouquet fell on the woman sitting nearby. Cool. The first half of the year was generally about work and getting tired of it. I worked my real adult job as an English teacher and finished my studies as a graphic designer. In summer, thankfully, I graduated. Throughout my studies, I was or busy as fuck or felt like a piece of shit, so I don't know what act of God, but I graduated. Not without my infamous buddy Artyom, though. Thanks to him, I still owe him his is a good action figure though. As a result, we and some guys from my group decided to celebrate our graduation on a trip. We went to the Carpathians, and it was also quite funny though. I got to Lviv for the first time and lost my new glasses in the fucking train, These were quite expensive though. And don't worry, we found them. After a fucking month and a half. And I got to know all the shit about my credit card. Do not make the same mistakes as me. And do not use the credit card for different useless shit. Because you forgot that you have to pay important as fuck stuff before wasting money left. This year I also wanted to visit a few places, but it all seems to move to the next one. I believe I will stay a lot of other places. In Ukraine, there is actually one funny thing called a traveler passport. It's like a souvenir and not a real highly important document. You literally can just walk up to the railway staff and ask for this thing, and they stamp it with the cities you visited. It's cool. I want one too, honestly. As well, during the year, I created a merch store. I have only one merch line for Stray Kids Magic School Fun Meeting from 2024, and yet I printed these designs only now. Maybe I'm moving a bit slowly, but whatever. While being busy is fucking me over and I don't have any obligations to a huge audience yet, I can move at a comfortable pace, I guess. I'm planning an alien stage collection in the setting of a duality of brightness and core. As well, maybe Arcane and Avatar. Not this one, but surprisingly the one by James Cameron. I'm not sure about the product range yet, but I definitely want products that are easier to print. fabric turns out to be expensive in terms of cost, and it's unlikely to sell it at the price, let alone make any profit. And yes, I am a serious grown woman. I track expenses, income, and profit in Google Sheets. Even for craft materials, yes. As for blogging, I think I'm doing pretty well. I'd rather talk about it in another video probably. I think about a lifestyle blog a lot too. But I worry that no one would actually be interested, and that it would be tiring as fuck, because I can run blogs in both Russian and English, and it's like double work. Also started translating my videos in 2025 though. On my Russian-speaking channel, I don't usually leave links to this one. First, my Russian audience will go there and then mess up all the analytics for sure. It will recommend videos to a different segment than the one the videos are intended for. And the lifestyle. I also would prefer to translate it for both languages, but it's still a double amount of work. Actually, even X4, because of the art channel, lifestyle channel, and the same both in Russian. It even sounds tiring. And I can't be only an English-speaking blogger yet, but it's already the topic of another video. What else can I say for finals? For me, blogging is a childhood dream and a perfect job. If I was paid enough to live as comfortably as I wish to, I'd do only that and post video probably more often than once in a month. But anyways, I have been blogging since childhood. I started when I was about 8 or 9 with VK. I actually still think that public system was better in VK than it is in Telegram now, which is my main social media public for now, by the way. And I guess it's the topic more reliable for Russian art community, but I'll talk about that a bit anyway. I really miss one fucking function of VK to make albums and topics in the public. Closer to the topic, I used to have a VK public and a YouTube channel, and not so skilled 9-year-old me actually even had some audience there. 260 people followed my YouTube back then. I don't know why, but when I got tired of it... No, not tired, wrong word. Me just didn't face a bad period when audience didn't grow and gave up. But anyway, I deleted that channel and I have no content left from there, even on my computer. Oh, and I cringe laughed for us. But at least I remember what I thought at that moment. I thought that if I'd wish, I'd succeed again and have the same amount of followers once again. Actually, it's only 260 people, but I never even had 1,000 of followers nowhere. Well, I was pretty close. My old edit Insta account, there were like 900 followers on its peak. And yeah, on my Russian-speaking channel, which is probably the main one, I have already over 300. Well, at least I proved myself that I am really able. And I already run my Telegram channel for almost 3 years. And it's a bit sad that there are still only a bit more than 400 people. Anyway, won't ask you to follow, it's Russian-speaking mainly, but anyway. And also about the blog. I guess you could have noticed, but my main character changed. Sorry, I didn't finish her sprites. This is Delivery. She is a fox plus a parrot, and she's my total representation. Spiritual animals and a dream piercing of mine. Previously, I used myself Sona, and somebody may ask, or not, but I'll answer anyway. Well, the case is that my Sona is literally me. I drew myself. I just added small elf ears and a sprout on my head. And my hairstyle, well, for me it's important. I treat all my past selves as a bit of a different characters of one big present me. And I associate periods of my life with the hairstyle I used to have back then. You can see it on the screen how I drew myself and the way I looked like. For me, drawing myself is a form of a therapy and fixing my current state and shit I go through to exact look a character. And I think it will be tiring as fuck to draw new sprites to each one. And that's why I think having a representative mascot will be nice. Because I can draw sprites and use them for the long term till I don't decide to change them. But enough of my blog. Let's move to the next topic. I won't explain a lot about the next topic because I am planning to talk about it in another video. But every day I'm trying to record my emotions in emo. And every month I share that on my shitpost Telegram channel. It helps me to look at the big picture of the month and serves as a reminder that no matter how bad the days are, they don't ruin the whole month. Yeah, sometimes even one shitty thing can't ruin the whole day. Recently, I had a such shitty day. I felt so bad and cried even a few times. But in the evening, me and my parents watched the first Avatar movie together. And that calmed me down and made me happier. Especially because I watched the first part with my dad for the first time too. We watched it before the second came out. And that time we watched it together with my mom, who usually doesn't like these types of films, but loved this one. And we even went to the cinema to watch the third film together too. It made me to change the sad mood in emo to a natural one. And September was the best month of 2025. Which is kind of funny because previously, around 2020 or 2021, I had shitty Septembers for 3 years in a row. Maybe I'll tell you about that somewhere later, but long story short, one September traumatized me as fuck. That I decided and really felt like that though, that every September is going to be shitty, and it really was like that. And in 2025 it happened that the whole month I was happy, or rather smiley. If you don't have this habit to record your emotions, you can try it. They say it's a good psychological practice. Who knows? As well, that year I started cosplaying. Like, literally just got and started. Imagine, it turns out that it was fucking possible. I thought about that for a long time. As you know, a very distant possibility, like, if only someday, definitely. And previously, I used to live in a small bumblefuck in the middle of nowhere. Even the city I live in now isn't really big as well. At least isn't considered so. But there are at least 2 anime stories and festivals happen here more often than never. My first time was at the local central shopping mall. Actually, twice before when I started cosplaying. And I thought like, really, I must go there as a cosplayer once. Yeah, here I am. My first choice was a trailblazer, Stella from Honkai Star Rail. If only it was promoted by Hoyoverse, and I'd be only happy. Just give me my wave on my account, please. I need nothing more. Sporksy, come home, please. So what was I talking about? Oh, right. Why Stella? Well, she's dorky as fuck. It wasn't very difficult to make it as it seemed to me. And it seemed so. But any beginning is always difficult. I thought it wouldn't be hard to perform. It's silly. You can just walk, joke around, and it'll be canon. I even performed a stand-up at my first show. It was cringy. People couldn't hear me well, but at least I won the most extraordinary défilé and diluted figure with so much pleasure. And my second character was Mizzy from Alien Stage. She also survived a few tests, but now I seem to be even happy with how this character looks on me. And in general, I just started. Yeah, fuck, I just started and the local cosplayers already managed to cancel me. And guess what? It's another fucking topic for another fucking video. But it's so fucking dirty that I'm not sure I want to do a video about that at all. I have lots of cos plans. Planning on doing a few period sets with my friends, like Stella and Black Swan, Pinkie Pie and Pinkamena, Alice Wonderland and Alice Madness, Puppet and Mongol. Lots of, in short. I have a wig for Mizzy with a short haircut, for Bennett / Mongol, I will use it for both, and one and done for Ram and Hatsune Miku. We'll finish at least something. Cosplaying is funny. Oh, what else? I still work as an English teacher. Here I am, still not even fired. Where are my congratulations? I improved my English and became more focused on grammar. Now I can't stand when somebody says here are or she fucking do. Yeah, I'm still also imperfect. And I shouldn't be perfect. Perfect is a non-existent shit, so if these English-speaking guys understand me, then I do well. As you see, I want to improve not only that. I always loved learning languages, and I won't lie, studying by yourself is fucking hard, but I'm trying to learn a bit of Korean. Just because out of all Asian languages, it's the most easy one. And as for news, I moved out. Right before and right after the new year, I was in a shitty state for sure. But now I'm finally no longer living with my parents. I don't know if I should be happy about it or not. I feel like I didn't even do enough. And I didn't even really want to live in the first place. Not because I'm lazy ass who hasn't bothered to live with the relatives since I was a teenager. Oh hell, we argued on a regular basis. Even though I paid for my part of the rent and bought the food for myself. I rent a room now that my dad found. I hope I'm here for a long time. Here is a small room tour. We're going to stop with the door. The light is off, so I'm going to light things up with my lamp. Hello. Here we go. These are boxes. I moved these here because my dad has to borrow them. These are stuff, cosmetics, sweets. My favorite shit. I collect. Yay! Here are my Spidey pools, Mizzy Suwa. It actually is supposed to be a Stray Kids shelf, but you see, there are even My Little Ponies laying there. That pool. Mabuika. Rainbow Dash. Namjoon. Everyone is here. And I guess I don't have enough stuff for these shelves, so I guess it's only a sign to buy even more shit. Here are books from something interesting you can actually get is like the 4 Heartstopper volumes. These are in English. Other books are or in Russian or in Ukrainian. My Hero Academia, 7 volumes, I'm sorry. I've reread The Promised Neverland, Attack on Titan, and I don't actually remember how it's called in English, but we adore this cat in my family, so I also collect some manga with this one. Here are some fishes. Cute stuff. And the whole Harry Potter series in Russian and in English. In English I only have 2 more volumes to buy. And here are some books and stuff I don't really know where else to put, so it's here. These are some books I don't know if I should put here. And my old notebooks, sketchbooks and stuff. And also some cases for decorations. Here is my picture by numbers, yeah. I can't finish it in a long time, but I'm afraid my paint will be gone. So I guess I have to finish it. Here are my stuff for wigs. Here is the markers, pens, and stuff. I guess it's just an ordinary table. I kind of have everything I have to use in emergency all the time, like headphones, like my stuff to study Korean, like my coffee, like the Katsuki Bakugan Android. He's nice, actually. He's expensive. Miles at the computer. Banchan Tamagotchi. Buddha. Haha, here he is. And some stuff as well. I guess I have quite a nice chair, but like, you can't judge me for that. Here is my chair with pillows, with Mizisua and Ivan tails, a picture, a wardrobe, a shelf. It actually was bought for all my stuff, which is in another shelf you saw already. But I have a lot of stuff, and I guess I have to buy so much more. So this shelf is only for stuff I don't use often, so it's like just staying here. Here are some other pillows. The rug is like the Soviet thing. I don't think you get it. Yeah, I don't think you get the vibe, but here it is. And another chair with another emergency stuff, and I won't show my bed because it's messy, because it's like 12 a.m. and I'm doing nothing with that. I also asked ChatGPT what would be cool to tell you in the summary, so here it goes. So here is the yours version of the year-end awards ceremony. Yeah, in February. The 3 most vivid emotions of the year. If we will look at my emo, I was even happy. My top 3 are happy, genial, and literally / no problem. Probably good. I know that these aren't emotions, but these are mood records in emo. And I swear it's not promoted. 3 words of the year. Honestly, 2 of them are swearing, and I couldn't think of a third one. Emotions were nice, but in general, the most important lesson learned. Well, it's better to do something than to do great. It turns out that somehow is better than nothing. With time, it will be good. But if you don't begin, then nothing will happen at all. 3 personal wins. I realized that I'm a Buddhist, not a practicing one, obviously, more like a secular Buddhist. I finally started cosplaying. It was my dream for a long time, and finally stopped feeling like a shit because of constant realization. 3 things that I want to keep: my friends, my desire for self-improvement, and a healthy mind. My ADHD doesn't count, but it's not completely useless, I guess. 3 things that you want to get let go of. Conflicts, probably. I won't get into details, but local cosplayers kind of cancelled me, and I was bitter about it for a long time. For quite a long time, they annoyed me as fuck till I didn't cool down and didn't realize that it's like a bunch of fucking kids. And there is just no fucking point in being mad at them, considering the general lack of critical thinking most of them have. And I don't think any of them will watch this video, so I don't give a fuck. This shit we are living in the last year. And I finally wanted to leave my head alone. I used to think that I'm not good enough in a way, and probably I would also want to let go of my laziness. I don't want to complain about my ADHD, it's not even a fucking derealization I used to go through. My ADHD was there all my life long. Learning to live without it will be more difficult and take longer than adapting to it already. And this is a huge part of my identity as well. But I also won't say that this diagnosis is a blessing. And out of my lack of focus, well, And when you aren't working on only one skill, you aren't becoming great in any other else. You can seem to know literally everything for those who have no fucking clue about the most topics you can talk about. But in general, you know everything but skin deep. It's depressing, although not always bad. I want to put aside my own bullshit and stop being lazy, thinking that there is no point in my work. What I'm grateful for that here. I didn't give up. I succeeded. I pulled myself out of years of shit, and still I'm not fired. Now I am a swag bearer. What do you want to tell your future self? I know it will be corny, but hear me out, okay? I know that you achieved everything you wanted. Because I am achieving what I want. With time, not like everybody else. Some are so fucking successful at 0 years old and stuff. I reassure myself that the more difficult it is for me, the longer it will last. Probably the work on self-improvement will last forever. But I believe that we are at least enjoying the process. I believe that your blog became successful, that your art is noticed, that your writing is read, that one day the world will hear your music, that someday you will be everywhere you wanted to be, and you will never again be in dire need of anything vital. We have a tendency, returning to a past self, addressing her, talking to her, calming her down and telling her everything will be okay. Because it will be. I hope that one day Wall with a tricolored hat and braids will become another version of Mini-Me from your past, where each subsequent one is happier and more successful, because you deserve it more than anybody else.